Hello and welcome to another video by me, Joel Gonzalez. I'm just going to be showing you how to navigate around Photoshop, get used to it and everything. So, right off, normally in the basic setup, you got the toolbar right here. It has every tool you need. I'll cover those in another video, but they're all useful in their own way. So, let's see. Palettes are free floating windows that have information on them. And let's see, every tool has a properties panel up at the top, so whenever you click on a tool, a new properties panel will end up here, so that you can control its properties, what it does, fine tune everything. Most importantly, the brush tool has its properties panel, which is very important to what we're doing here. Let's see, in the Windows panel up here, you get to control what shows on here normally. So right over here I got my swatches and everything. I got my navigator, which is a great tool. It lets you get a thumbnail here on the side of whatever you're doing. So let's just make this a little bit bigger. Normally I have it a little smaller and over here and to the side, but for now it helps you kind of just take a good look at it. When you do a piece and then you just get tired of it and you go away for a while and then come back to it and you automatically just click, you can do it well again. This is kind of helps you with that. It gives you just take a step back at your piece, just a thumbnail view, and just kind of helps you work on what you need to work on. So if I'm doing like a big old landscape, if something looks lacking here in the thumbnail, I can just get out of my concentration mode for a second, get over here, look at it, and just focus on that area. The navigator lets you zoom in here. This thing lets you pan around, control wherever you're going, get bigger, smaller. So I mean, it's a nice tool. I keep it around. You got here your actions, which is something you won't need a lot here, but you could look it up and it's alright. It just records certain things that you do, so instead of clicking everything to make a new layer, new fill layer, the color, you can just do that once, record it in your actions, and you just press a button, it'll happen again. Look it up, it's a great little tool. Adjustments panel, I mean, it's just basic stuff you can do to photos in Photoshop. Let's see. Channels, character, style clone, histogram, history. You just look at what you've done. It helps you go back. Layers is very important. I'll get to that in a second. Just pretty much most everything you need you can control up here. If there's a check mark by something, that means it's currently showing in Photoshop already without you having to click on it and do stuff. Let's see, right here we're about to get into layers. Layers is such a big important thing in Photoshop. Let me just get back out here for a second. I'm new at making videos, so please excuse me, and I'm also kind of sick. So, layers. Let me just undo this. Layers is so important to Photoshop because it facilitates everything you do. Let me elaborate. Get a better brush up here. Size. I'm doing this manually, but there are shortcuts to for everything. So let's just get to it. Layers. If you look at a picture frame, you will have a frame. Just under it, a piece of glass, an image under the glass, and then a back thing. Think of a layer like that, and that you can They're layers. They're one on top of the other, and you can control what they do. So let's see. I'll create a new layer, draw on it, and then lock it right here. You lock layers so that you don't mess with them while you're working on another one. Create new layer. Let me select a different color, some loud orange, and it paints over it, and I can do things to it without messing up my layer beneath it. So see, look, this is the eraser tool I'm using, and it erases to reveal that black underneath. That's how layers work, one thing on top of the other. So say I am painting in Photoshop. Let me just delete these layers by dragging them down to the can, or you can right click and delete layer. So let's say I'm just doing a light sketch of a just gray, a sketch. Nothing too detailed, just a nice little thing. Alright, so we have a sketch there. Lock the layer. And always name your layers. I'm sorry I haven't been doing that, but you should. Sketch. It helps you keep organized. Say I want to just paint over it with the orange again. This is very opaque and I'm not painting like I should be, but you know, I do this, and let me just skip ahead a little. Okay, so this took me about like a minute too. I didn't really try on it. Don't get on me, you guys. But so see, I painted up here. You can hide the layers, and it hides whatever you did on them, and it'll show what you've done. And see, I deleted this under sketch, and you've got an idea of what layers do, one thing on top of the other. Of course, you can do more than just sketch and then paint on top. You can, on a new layer, add the little whites and stuff, everything that this needs. So, just to give you a rudimentary explanation of layers, you can sketch, say on another layer you want to try something crazy, like, I don't know, give this guy a robot hand. Lock that. Sorry about that. That was my computer acting up. Some robot hands, just not trying. You can just kind of add that on there and see if you like it or not. If not, you can just hide the layer, delete it. But if you like the thing, you can just add these two layers together. You click on one, press Shift, and then you merge layers or flatten, do whatever you need to. And see, it's all one layer now. So you kind of get the gist of layers. You can, whenever a lot of people are sketching or painting, they'll make another layer aside from the one they're painting or drawing on and kind of add something, and if they like it, they'll add it to that layer. The more layers a file has, the bigger the file size will be, so it's always nice to keep your work kind of compact, but if you need it, go ahead, just keep that in mind when you're doing something. The layers are pretty crazy, so I'll get back to you on that next video about how to work the tools here in Photoshop. I'm not going to explain everything, just what you need to know related to this. So thank you and goodbye.